R&B singer Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday, was heading to Atlanta when the van she was riding in crashed. It's still not clear why they crashed or how the other people in the van are doing.
Imagine the soulful melodies of Angie Stone filling the air, her voice a comforting presence in the world of R&B. Her songs had a way of reaching into the hearts of listeners, carrying with them stories of love, pain, resilience, and empowerment. Over the years, Angie Stone became more than just a singer. She became an icon, a voice of authenticity in an ever-evolving music industry. Her sound, rooted in classic soul but modernized with a contemporary edge, resonated with audiences across generations. She wasn't just a performer. She was a storyteller whose voice had become a source of comfort, healing, and joy for millions. Now, picture the shockwave that hit fans worldwide upon hearing the news of her sudden passing. The music world stood still. Tributes poured in from fellow artists, friends, and admirers. Social media became a digital shrine filled with tearful posts, clips of her performances, and heartfelt messages that illustrated just how deeply Angie Stone was loved. For many, it felt surreal. How could such a powerful force be gone so suddenly? The official account. According to the initial reports, Angie Stone's death was attributed to natural causes. This explanation, while tragic, seemed plausible on the surface. The early statements were brief and lacked detail, but the tone from those close to her suggested acceptance and grief rather than suspicion. Media outlets respectfully acknowledged her passing, focusing on her remarkable career, her enduring influence on R&B and neo-soul, and the loss felt by the music community at large. Yet, the lack of specific information left some fans unsettled. In an era where transparency is increasingly demanded, the vague nature of the reports triggered questions. Was this really all there was to it? The ambiguity, though likely unintentional, created a space for speculation, and soon, that space would be filled. Jaguar Wright's allegations. Enter Jaguar Wright, the soul singer and former member of the Roots extended musical family. Known for her powerful vocals and, in recent years, her willingness to call out injustices and corruption in the music world, Wright emerged with a bold claim. Something about Angie Stone's death didn't sit right with her. In a series of emotionally charged videos and social media posts, Wright questioned the official narrative. Her tone was urgent, her conviction unmistakable. She didn't outright accuse any specific individuals of wrongdoing, but her words were heavy with implication. She claimed there were inconsistencies in the death report and suggested that the public was not being told the full story. According to her, too many things just didn't add up. One of her central claims revolves around Stone's last known public appearance, what should have been a routine performance. Wright pointed to the absence of post-show footage or eyewitness accounts showing Stone leaving the venue. In an era where almost everything is documented, especially when it involves public figures, this absence struck her as odd. She raised concerns about the timeline between Stone's appearance and the announcement of her death, suggesting there were unanswered questions that warranted further scrutiny. While these claims have not been supported by tangible evidence, they have sparked widespread discussion and fueled online theories. Some have labeled Wright a whistleblower. Others, however, question whether she's stirring up unnecessary controversy during a sensitive time. Public reaction. The public's response has been deeply divided. On one side are those who appreciate Jaguar Wright's bravery. To them, she is asking the questions others are too afraid to raise. They argue that if there's even a remote possibility of foul play, it should be investigated. They view Wright not as a conspiracy theorist, but as someone willing to challenge the status quo in an industry long known for secrecy and power imbalances. On the other side are those who see her actions as disrespectful and speculative. They argue that raising unverified claims, especially so soon after Stone's passing, adds to the grief and confusion of those mourning her. Some have gone so far as to accuse Wright of using the tragedy for personal attention, though such accusations are difficult to prove or disprove. Social media has become the battleground for this discourse. Hashtags honoring Angie Stone often appear alongside debates about Wright's comments. Threads on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok feature everything from passionate defenses of Wright to detailed breakdowns of why her theories don't hold water. It's a modern reflection of how public mourning and digital discussion intersect, often with chaotic intensity. Media coverage. Mainstream media has approached the controversy cautiously. Major outlets have reported on Jaguar Wright's claims, but typically with disclaimers emphasizing the lack of supporting evidence. In doing so, they walk a fine line, acknowledging the buzz her allegations have created without lending them undue legitimacy. This restraint is understandable. Unfounded claims, especially when amplified, can lead to serious legal implications or harm the reputations of those involved. Media organizations are acutely aware of the consequences of spreading misinformation, particularly when it involves high-profile deaths. As a result, most coverage of Wright's allegations has been careful, measured, and heavily caveated. Still, the very act of reporting on the controversy ensures that it remains in the public consciousness. And in today's 24/7 news cycle, even the most speculative claim can gain traction simply by being talked about enough. The broader context. Jaguar. Wright's recent comments don't exist in a vacuum. In fact, they follow a pattern of past behavior. In recent years, Wright has emerged as a polarizing figure in the music industry, making headlines for exposing what she describes as systemic abuse, exploitation, and corruption within the business. She's called out former collaborators, criticized industry elites, and opened up about her own experiences of mistreatment. To some, this history lends credibility to her current concerns. She's seen as a truth teller, someone who speaks up when others remain silent. To others, however, her past controversies cast doubt on her intentions. They question whether her confrontational style and frequent accusations have eroded her credibility, making it difficult to separate legitimate concerns from personal vendettas. Regardless of where one stands on Wright's reliability, her actions have undeniably sparked a broader conversation about accountability in the entertainment world. Should artists and fans be more skeptical of official narratives? Is there a culture of silence that needs to be broken? These questions, while uncomfortable, are worth asking. Seeking clarity. As the debate continues, one thing remains certain. The world deserves clarity. Angie Stone's fans, her family, and her peers all deserve to know the truth about what happened to her. Whether her passing was purely natural, as initially reported, or if further investigation is needed, the priority must be honesty and transparency. Death, especially of beloved public figures, often brings with it a cloud of confusion. In the rush to grieve and honor, important details can be overlooked. That's why it's so important to ensure that every death, celebrity or otherwise, is treated with the seriousness and diligence it deserves. Even if Wright's concerns ultimately prove to be unfounded, they serve as a reminder of the importance of thoroughness and open dialogue. The legacy of Angie Stone. Lost in the noise of controversy is the voice we all cherished. Angie Stone's. Before anything else, she should be remembered for her extraordinary contribution to music. From her early days with The Sequence to her breakthrough solo career, Stone carved out a space that was both classic and fresh. Her albums like Black Diamond and Mahogany Soul are timeless, and her influence is evident in the voices of countless artists who followed. She sang about love in all its complexity, about womanhood, about pain and triumph. Her music wasn't just entertainment, it was nourishment for the soul. Her death, no matter the cause, leaves a void that will not easily be filled. The controversy ignited by Jaguar Wright's statements serves as a sobering reflection of the complexities at the intersection of celebrity, speculation, and truth. In the era of instant information and online activism, even a whisper of doubt can become a thunderstorm of debate. Whether Wright's concerns are ultimately validated or dismissed, her challenge to the official story has prompted deeper conversations about transparency, accountability, and how we mourn our cultural icons. As the dust settles, what remains is the music, the memory, and the undeniable impact Angie Stone had on the world. Her voice, once a living force, now becomes a legacy, one we carry forward with love, respect, and perhaps a little more vigilance. If you found this exploration insightful and want to stay updated on similar stories and cultural discussions, consider subscribing to our channel.